What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. This is TW Motorsports, and today I thought we'd do a couple things. Okay, so first thing is I haven't done a Q&A for a while. A couple people have been asking me questions, and they said you should do another Q&A video. And it has been, I don't know, maybe a year or so since I've done one. And so I figured today would be a good day. I'm going to show you why here in just a minute. And then the other thing is a 30K giveaway. I've been wanting to do one. Came up with a couple ideas, so we'll talk about that when we finish with the questions. So let's get to the questions. I posted on the community section of YouTube, and so basically what that is, it's kind of like a place where you can post pictures, and it's similar to like an Instagram feed type deal. But let's see, we'll start with the questions, like I said, and then we'll go on to the 30K giveaway, and then we'll show you why I'm kind of doing this today. So first of all, I posted a picture just of my green truck in front of it's actually my upholsterer shop. But we'll go through these questions, and we'll just start I'll start at the top. There's probably like, I don't know, 20 or 30 maybe more. All right, so first question comes from Levi. He says, when are you going to do the power window swap on the green Sierra? Guys, there's so much stuff going on right now. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. It is something that I'm going to do. That's why I kept that the pewter Silverado outside, that I got the engine out for the green truck. So I am going to do it. That's why it's still out there. And believe me, my wife constantly tells me I need to get rid of it. So yes, it will happen eventually, but it's not like huge on the priority list, especially with the Trans Am going now. Now there's still going to be some stuff, and as you can see, I'm setting in one of them, and you'll see that coming very soon as well. So John asked, how do you afford insurance on so many vehicles? I have 4 with a teenage driver and can only afford to insure 3 of the 4 vehicles. All right, so insurance on all these cars. So I insure a lot of them. So like the black truck, the white Trailblazer SS, the Trans Am, the 54, the Corvette. I think that's it. I insure all of those on like a collector car policy. And if you guys have never checked into that, like your Grundys, now mine's not Grundy. I'm actually using American Modern, which is a subsidiary of another company, but they're relatively affordable. As a matter of fact, for all those vehicles that I just named, I think I put, and actually the white Silverado's on that as well. I think I pay like $700 a year for all of those. Now, there is a mileage cap on it. Generally, it's about 3,000 miles, I think, is what my cap is, but the deductibles are low, and they know that I'm not going to be driving them every day. So, like on my wife's car and the Suburban, the S10 just has liability. Stuff like that, I insure on just a regular policy, and honestly, the wife's car carries the majority of that, and so that's how I insure things. And like I said, if you insure under like a collector car policy, it is way cheaper. You're probably going to start to see my breath. My heater has been doing some weird things. We'll talk about that too. But do you ever think of getting any wheels or like custom interior for the O2? I don't really have any plans on the Sierra to get any different wheels. I got those for a particular reason. I thought they matched well with the bumper, so I don't really think, and that I just don't think I'll be doing anything different as far as wheels. Custom interior, we got some stuff coming. Like I said, I'm setting in the old seats out of the truck, so obviously we're doing seats. When are the Trailblazer SS and FRC going up for sale? Love both of those. There's, at any time, you guys can reach out to me. Now, if I don't want to sell something at that time, they're probably going to be pretty high. I would sell either one of those right now. And I don't really have, there's really not a whole lot in this garage that I wouldn't sell besides the black 52 and the Trans Am. Everything else, and maybe the 55 down there, but nobody's going to want it because it's in primer. But everything has a price. I'll just say that. And those might have a price too if you got high enough, but I really don't want to get rid of them. I'd just buy another one. Have you ever had any issues with the top of the shackles rubbing the bed after the 3/4 drop? It did that. So no, I haven't had any issues with that. I don't generally do 3/4 drops. Generally I do 4/6s or 5/7s, so I've never had any issue with that. Are you going to drop the tank? Nico says, are you going to drop the tank on the TA or hack the trunk up when installing the fuel pump? So I went back and forth on this. Initially, I was going to drop the tank, and I still think I probably will. But there's some pretty cool ideas for putting like a trap door in there where you can have access to it without pulling the tank, because it is quite an undertaking, which you guys will see as I do it. But as of right now, I'm going to be pulling the tank. So that might change, but as of right now, that's what I'm going with. Somebody said you're giving away 30 grand. No, I'm not giving away. I wish I could do that. Let's see. That was David. That's funny, David. I wish I could give away 30 grand. I really do. Let's see. Will you put a sound system in the green truck, and how much power does it make to the engine or to the wheels? So I eventually think I probably will put a stereo in the green truck. It's got an aftermarket just single din right now. I'd like to do a double din, and I would like to put some subs in there. I'm not really sure how soon that'll be. I'd really rather do the power windows and stuff like that before I get to subwoofer. But as far as power, I don't really know. I've never had it on a dyno. No idea. I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say probably like 310, 320. And all it has done to it is this really small cam. It has headers with stock exhaust, catback, and really that's the only performance stuff, and electric fans. So just based off what other people have seen with those mods, that'd be my guess. All right, Chad, how does the truck ride? So I'm assuming you mean the green truck. I keep looking over to the trucks. When you ask me a question about a vehicle, I look over to it. I don't know why I do that. But the green truck, so it doesn't ride like a truck that's not lowered, if that makes sense. So when you're going down the road, you can definitely tell it's lowered. It's not bumpy. It's bumpier than it was to begin with, but it's not like unmanageable. It's kind of one of those things that if you've had a lowered truck before, some of them ride better than others. Like if you just hack the springs and keep the stock shocks, it's gonna ride like crap. So this one doesn't ride like crap, but it doesn't ride like a Cadillac either. So it's just kind of a sporty ride. You're gonna feel more bumps when you go to a lower profile tire and you lower stuff. So hopefully that answers your question. Carlos, will you ever put an 03 bumper conversion on your truck? No. Several people have asked me that. I don't like that front bumper. I specifically looked for a 99 to 2002 because I don't like that front bumper. I like the front of that truck better. Now, with that being said, I would be the guy that bought an 03 up and put that bumper on it because I just like that bumper so much better. I don't know. That's just me. I've had the other bumpers on the newer style trucks, but it's not something I would do. Now, to go to that conversion, you have to lop off some of the frame. So to go backwards, so like if I bought an 03 up and tried to put that bumper on it, it's not quite as easy. So it would be dumb to try that. Would you give a truck away? Would you do it in the same way YouTubers do it if I buy a sticker or some kind of merchandise and have computer choose at random? Okay, so in Missouri is where I live, and I don't think it's legal for me to do that, but that's something that as I get bigger as a channel, I would love to do. I would love to do like a giveaway on a vehicle. That would be so cool. And I eventually will have merchandise. I've got hats, as you can see, guys, and my wife actually, she does all my hats for me. She works for an embroidery company, actually runs it. And so as far as embroidered stuff and getting shirts and stuff like that, I can get that. I just need to take the time to set up like a website and do stuff like that. But as I eventually grow, yes, I would love to do that if I can figure out the legalities of it. So as of right now, no, but that doesn't mean it won't happen eventually. So next question is it worth swapping a 4.8 for a 5.3? I don't know, that's a tough question for me, to be honest with you. So it depends on what you're wanting to do. So if there's nothing wrong with the 4.8, then no, in my opinion. If you're trying to make more power, you're probably going to want to go, if you're wanting to keep it no boost, no nitrous, stuff like that, in my opinion, you're going to want to go to like a bigger motor. So like on the 5.3 deal, I really wanted a 5.3. I had a 4.8, the 5.3 presented itself, and so that's why I went with that. No, I don't think it's worth the swap unless there's something wrong with the 4.8 and you have a 5.3 available. So don't just pull a 4.8 stock out, put a 5.3 stock in. I think you'll be disappointed. There's just not that much difference. And the 4.8, to be honest with you, if you are going to boost it, a lot of people, they say they hold up better because they're a shorter stroke. They last longer. I don't know. They both seem to be pretty good under boost. But anyway, on to the next question. Would you ever lower a fan's truck as a prize or pimp it out with your taste? I would love to do that, but as of right now, I just don't have the time. And you can see that it's obviously getting cold in here. You can see my breath, but I just don't have the time to do that. Otherwise, I might think of doing that. Now, down the road, maybe that's an option, but as of right now, no, unfortunately not. What is your thoughts on CTSV brake mods on F-body? So I like them. I just never have done it because of a couple reasons. First of all, I think they probably do stop better. It's probably a better brake than what I'm using. But the brakes, the stock brakes on these cars, with just some upgrades, and that's what I've done to mine, they stop. And a lot of people have went like well into the 8s. So in my opinion, they just weren't worth the swap to me. The other thing is you have to go to a bigger wheel. So I think an 18 is the biggest or the lowest or the smallest wheel that will clear the CTSV front brakes. So that's another reason why I haven't done that in the past even. What size tires are you running on the green truck? So the green truck is a 245/45/20. That is the size on it. Which is a truck or car you will never give away or sell? I think I answered that. Well, maybe I didn't. I'm kind of skipping back and forth here. I would never sell the 52 Chevy pickup. It's just, I mean, I guess if the money were right, I might, but as of right now, no. And here we go. Jerry posted, and what's funny is somebody responded to him, if you could keep one vehicle in your collection, which would you keep and why? The 52 Chevy truck, it just, I don't know, I love the look of the truck. I like driving it. It's just different. You don't see them every day, especially like that. It's all flat black. And it belonged to my uncle at one point. It's just, I just don't see myself ever getting rid of it. Like I said, if I had to get rid of everything else, I'd probably keep that. Now the Trans Am would be a razor thin margin, but somebody responded, who was it here? Levi actually responded, I can answer that for you, it's the 52. And that, Levi, you were right. You've been watching for a while. I believe you said you had some sort of dealership a while back. What made you stop doing that? And you said you had a dealer's license. Also, I noticed you're in front of a CAT scan dealer. So obviously we're setting in. So we'll go to the CAT scan dealer first. The guy who does all my upholstery work is actually my neighbor, and he has a CAT scan dealership. Well, he does CAT scan installs. I am obviously, as you can see, doing a swap soon, but I'm not doing CAT scan. So that's why his building says that. It's just a place I took a picture, honestly. And then I wasn't down there to pick anything up. And then the dealership thing. So I did work for a dealership for like 3 or 4 years, and that dealership closed. It was a GM dealership back in the time when GM was going through that transition period. They were closing a lot of smaller dealerships. The dealership I worked at actually only had like 120 car lot, wasn't real big, and they just didn't make it through that closed down in 2008 when all the markets went bad and they closed down smaller dealerships. They just didn't make it. And I went to another dealership for a while, and I was over the business at that point. I was in sales, and I don't miss that lifestyle, to be honest with you. I like sales, but I just didn't want to do it in cars anymore. And then I did have a dealer's license. I had a dealer's license on my own for about 15 years. That's actually where the TWA Motorsports name is derived from. TWA are my initials, and so that was the name. You had to come up with the name for the dealership. And that was really more based on the fact that I bought and sold cars all the time, and after a certain amount of time in Missouri, the state will actually send you a letter saying, hey, you're selling too many cars, you need to think about getting a dealer's license. I actually got one of those letters, and then insurance was cheaper to carry as a blanket policy over everything that I had instead of each individual vehicle at that time. When the insurance went up and you had to sell 6 cars a year at that point in Missouri to keep your license. I wasn't selling 6, I was keeping more stuff. And so it got to the point where it was just a hassle, and I just did away with it. So I haven't had it for, I think 2015 was the last year that I actually had it. And I just I don't miss it, to be real honest with you. And then I posted another one today. As I said, I'm filming this on Sunday, and the video's going up tomorrow. So I got a few more that came through here. Will a mid-rise fabricated intake work in our F-bodies and still be able to use the SLP box, mass airflow sensor, and smooth bellow? I'm thinking about running that. I think it probably will, but you're going to probably have to get a special adapter to adapt down if it's the one I'm thinking about that you're talking about, and you might have to trim on the hood. So it's just never been something I've been into. There's been a lot of guys that went really fast, the LS6 intake. That's what I'm going to be using on my build, and I just, that's what I like. That composite intake doesn't heat soak like your metal intakes, so that's another reason why I like those. Not really, I've just never been a huge fan of those intakes. The fast intakes back in the day would blow up if you put a bunch of boost to them, and they were just way overpriced, in my opinion, for what you gained. Next question here is, you think LS swapping my 94 Sierra is worth it, or would you put a 5.7 that currently has a 4.3? I would never pull a 4.3 or a 5.7 out and not put an LS in. So like the OBS truck is what he's talking about. LSs just run better. They make more power. They're cheaper to work on. There's less, like, I don't like distributors. I don't like the setup on that. In my opinion, I like the coil per cylinder. I think they make more power. I'm an LS fan, so I would never say, and to me, unless you got it for just next to nothing, and I'm saying like almost free, because I think if I ever pulled the motor out of my OBS truck, I think I'd have trouble selling it for even $500 with the trans. I just don't think they're worth any money. So unless you got it for next to free and just had tons of time, it's not worth it to me. Would you ever consider getting a diesel truck, says Xavier, and if so, which one? I'm not a diesel truck guy. I never have been. Now, I did use a diesel. My buddy has a diesel Duramax dually that I used to pull my two-door Tahoe home with, and while that truck pulled incredible, I just don't pull enough stuff to warrant having one, and I've just never been a diesel guy. I'm a LS guy, and I'm a lowered truck guy. I'm not a four-wheel drive truck guy, so it's never been something I've wanted. Now down the road, if one like for a while I had a dually that was a gas. If I found one of those that I could slam on the ground that was a two-wheel drive, maybe, but I'm not looking for one. I'll say that. What is the largest aftermarket radiator you can fit in an OBS? Also, would you go electric fans or would you keep the stock belt-driven fan? If I ever did an OBS swap, I would definitely do a electric fan. As far as aftermarket radiators, I don't know. I'm sure that there's one out there that works better than another. I like the stock radiators. They seem to work well. A lot of people have used them, never had any issues. So in my opinion, it's not worth the added expense to go to a bigger one. Now, if you're making a ton of power in maybe it is, but I would get rid of the belt-driven fan. I just think they rob power. They make a ton of noise. To me, the throttle response is worse when it has one. I'm an electric fan guy, so if I'm swapping something, it will never get a belt-driven fan in it unless it was temporary because I couldn't get an electric fan in time or something. But let's see here. Michael asked, what size turbo are you going to put on the green truck? I haven't even thought about that as far as sizing the turbos. Now, the truck is going to get turboed, and then Nino, the next question is, are you going to go with boost? Yes, the truck is going to get turboed. So the green truck, it's going to happen at some point. Now when, I don't know, and we'll talk about that because I have a question to ask you guys about that here in a minute. But I haven't even thought about turbo sizes. To be real honest with you, if I had to guess, like off the top of my head, I would say probably a 76 millimeter, maybe an 80 millimeter turbo for that 5.3, and it's really not going to be a drag truck. It's going to be more like just a fun toy to melt the tires off of from like a 60 mile an hour roll. I really wouldn't build it to take to the track per se and beat up there. Now things change, but as of right now, that would be my pick. But like I said, I want to ask you guys a question about that here in just a minute, as far as like which do you think I should do. So let's get into, I want to show you guys outside real quick, and then we'll get into, the reason I want to show you that is the reason I'm in here today filming this. It's crazy. It's like it's 4 degrees right now. And you can see my breath. It's probably 45 down to 45 in the shop right now, but it's literally 4 degrees, and the wind chill's like -10 right now, and that just rarely happens here. We just haven't seen weather like this in quite a while. But anyway, we'll go, I want to show you outside, and then we'll get into what we are going to be doing for giveaway. So on to why we're doing this today, like I said, and then I just want to show you guys this. Show you a couple things. First of all, this is the weather right now. They're expecting like possibly up to 12 inches of snow. And so good day to be out in the garage filming something like this. Another thing, guys, you can see out there that the Yukon is gone. I did sell the Yukon, which is good because I wanted that thing gone, but this weather sucks. And my heater's been doing some weird stuff. It runs, and then the second time you go to start it, so generally what I do is I run it up to like 70 degrees in here, 75, and then I turn it off and let it get down like the 50s, and then I turn it back on. When I go to turn it back on the second time, it freaks out and doesn't want to start. So don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, on to the 30K giveaway. First of all, guys, thank you so much for getting me. We're real close to 30,000. I think we're like 29,200 or maybe 300 right now as I film this. Like I said, I'm filming it Sunday. This will go up tomorrow, but I'm going to do a 30K giveaway. So in order to be eligible for the 30K giveaway, you only have to do 3 things, okay? First of all, you have to be subscribed to the channel. Second of all, you have to post a comment on this video. And third is you need to give this video a thumbs up to be eligible for this giveaway. So I'm gonna do 2 different things. So first of all, I've got one of the things right here. I believe in this so much that I think that it's a good option, and this is going to be more for the OBS guys, and that's why I'm going to do 2 options. So the first option is the conversion that I did to the MBS master cylinder on the OBS truck. I think that makes a huge difference, and if you guys haven't caught the video, I did this all at one time. I did that conversion with the Little Shop Manufacturing brakes, and you're gonna have to check that video out because substantial difference. But I wanted to give away something for the OBS guys. I feel like I shortchanged you with the 2-door Tahoe, and because of that, that is what I'm going to be giving away. That's one of the things. So I've got it all right here, all brand new. Got a brand new master cylinder. I've got the adapter because you do have to have the adapter in order to get it on the OBS truck. And I also have the bench bleed kit because you are going to have that in order to do this whole thing. So for the guys or girls that don't have an OBS truck, so obviously if you don't have one of these trucks, me giving away that isn't going to make much sense, and you probably don't really care, right? So here's what I've decided to do. I've decided to give away a $100 Amazon gift card to the other winner. So I'm going to pick 2 winners at random, and so what I'll do is if the first person that I pick, let's say, doesn't have an OBS truck, I'm going to let the first person I pick decide which one they want, and the second person will get whatever the first person doesn't choose. So if I have 2 people that don't have the OBS stuff, then we may just have to figure out something else. But to be honest with you guys, that swap is like, I want to say it's about 125, 130 bucks, I believe, all those parts. It may be a little higher than that, I don't even remember. But if I have 2 people, we'll have to figure something else out. But that is the goal right now, is to have 2 winners. The first one obviously can pick, like I said, between that master cylinder swap and the bleeder and the adapter, or a $100 Amazon gift card. I buy a ton of my stuff. A majority of all the stuff that I link down in the description is from Amazon, assuming that I can get it quick enough. So like a majority of my parts are supplied from Amazon, unless they're specialty stuff, you know, like you can't buy this K member for the Trans Am swap, the turbo swap and stuff like that. Generally you can't buy that stuff on Amazon, but I do buy a lot of my stuff from there. It's just way easier to have it shipped to me. There's no hot rod shops close to me that I can buy stuff from. Believe me, I'd love to support local business if I had that option. But thought that'd be kind of a cool giveaway. So let me know, guys. Like I said, you have to be subscribed, got to post a comment on this video, and you have to give this video a thumbs up, are the only 3 requirements. So like I said, we're getting close to that 30,000. Thank you guys so much for all of you guys that subscribed, that watched, that went through all this with me buying an OBS, me selling an OBS, for me not working on the Trans Am, for all you Trans Am people, for me just all the stuff that you guys do, all the comments that you make. Sometimes like I really don't want to come out here and work. I don't want to do something, and somebody will post a comment and kind of inspire me to work again. So love those comments, especially the positive ones. Now I get a lot of negative comments, and sometimes that helps me helps engage me too. But definitely those people that are like, hey, you just keep doing what you do. We love everything that you have. We will suffer, if we're Trans Am people, we will suffer through the truck stuff to get to the Trans Am stuff. So I appreciate people like that because there is a lot of stuff going on. But the question, you know, I told you guys I wanted to ask you a question about an option that I have here. So obviously we got the OBS, and I know I got a lot of OBS fans out there, and I like this truck, but I flirted with maybe dealing off a vehicle. And so let me ask you this. Would you rather see, and so let me know in the comments as well, would you rather see me turbo the green truck and sell this, or would you rather me wait on turboing the green truck and keep this? So obviously me selling this truck would speed up the turbo process on the green truck. Now, I would love to do both, but I'm kind of to that point where do I necessarily need 3 trucks that I don't drive hardly ever? If I keep this truck, I do think that I'm going to paint it and fix all the scratches and dings and whatnot and make it like a stock version of what it is right now, just way cleaner. And I have no desire to sell the gray truck, or the 52, that will never happen. And the green truck I really don't want to sell either. So if I had to sell something, this would be what I would sell. Maybe the Trailblazer. But as far as like, if you guys had to pick, which would you pick out of the two? Would you rather see me keep this and keep working on it and then do the turbo, just push it down the road? Or would you like to see me sell this, get it out of the way, and get started on the turbo kit on the green truck immediately? So I know that I'm doing a giveaway for OBS, but if I had to get rid of the OBS, which would you guys choose? I think a lot of people are gonna say sell this and do the green truck, but I think there's some OBS people out there that's like, no, you're crazy, just do the green truck later, you've got it finished, let's keep rocking on this OBS. So anyway, I wanna hear from you guys, but I think that's it, guys. I wanted to give you guys kind of a cool, well, I think it's kind of cool anyway, gift card or the OBS conversion, or the MBS conversion on the OBS. So if you like this video, guys, like always, please smash that thumbs up button. Of course, you got to do that to be entered anyway. And then go down in the comments, let me know about it. But if you're not subscribed, guys, go down and hit the subscribe. Tell all your buddies about this channel, because the quicker we grow, the more stuff like this we can do. I would love to give a giveaway on every, like, maybe say 10,000 subscribers that we get to. So at the 40K and then the 50, and then maybe when we get up to 100, we can get something like really, really good as far as like giveaways. I don't know, maybe it happens at 50,000, we'll see. But if you're not subscribed, like I said, go down, hit the subscribe button, tell your buddies about it. They can go subscribe as well. Make sure while you're down there doing all that, you hit that bell icon that notifies you every time we drop a new video, guys, and stay tuned to see what we work on next.